This is Pat Love with Pat's Two Cents. I want to share something about why the Bible so explicitly discourages us from living and walking by the dictates of our flesh, by the dictates of our human nature, our carnal nature. There are things that are wrapped up in the curse of sin that have such a negative effect on us. Now, we open the door to whatever the demonic tempts us to do by dwelling on it, stewing on it, lusting after it, coveting, whatever the case may be. And we don't realize how we end up bringing things onto ourselves. Now, if you have an issue with somebody and you have chosen not to forgive them, that is fertile ground for bitterness, rage, emotional scarring, psychological distress, physical sickness, even death. Now, the reason I say that is because there are physicians that say negative emotions release toxins, release poisonous chemicals into your body. Now, Satan comes, the Bible says, Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So what you are doing is spiraling down in a downward spiral right into the pit of death and hell itself. Why? Because you have become one with this bitterness, this unforgiveness, these feelings of resentment. You're giving into it as if it's okay because you feel like, well, you have the right. Well, yeah, you have the right to go to heaven. You have the right to go to hell. You have the right to live. You have the right to die however you want. But why not choose the greater of the two? Whatever your two choices are, why not choose higher ground on all points? Because listen, you can sit there and you can feel angry and bitter all you want. But when you see that person walk in a room, who's the miserable one? It's not them, it's you. It's you because you're tied up in knots, you're bound up, you're shriveled up, you're inhibited all of a sudden. All your joy bells stop ringing because that person walked in the door. Well, nobody should have that kind of power over you. But they're not doing it to you. You're doing that to yourself. See, this is what happens when you forgive. You have totally turned off the power that Satan has over you. You have flipped the switch off. And now he cannot pull your little emotional strings. He can't jerk you around over here and jerk you over there. He can't mess with your emotions. Why? Because he no longer has dominion. He cannot have dominion over something you have released to God. When you release something that you have a right to hold on to, when you surrender it to God, you relinquish your right to deal with it. You relinquish also Satan's right to meddle with you. Now, he can try, but he won't succeed as long as you leave that thing in God's hands. Another thing we do as far as flesh goes, now that I've shown you how you can get freedom from all that other nonsense, another thing that our flesh will do to us, jealousy. You can sit up there and watch somebody succeed or see all the gifts and abilities and talents they have, and you can literally start disliking that person. You think they think they're all that in a bag of chips. No, they don't think it, you do. And the reason you think they're all that in a bag of chips is because you want what they got. You want to be able to do what they can do. Hey, I've been there, I've done that, I know. So my point to you is, when you live a life of jealousy, when you covet with envy, what they have, what they can do, all the breaks they've gotten in their life. And then look at you. Well, you end up becoming an angry, bitter, sour, hardened soul. And when you're like that, you're so full of your own negativity, you can't receive anything positive, even by God. You have to empty that out. You have to pull the release valve and let that stuff ooze out of you. But you need to ask God for help. And you need to confess that as a sin and ask God to forgive you for being jealous of whoever, for whatever. And ask God to make you content with what you have and to be grateful for who you are. And wait on the Lord to bring you yours in due season, which he will do. Well, we're going to stop there, and we'll deal with some other issues of the flesh on the next video. I hope that helps you. But your flesh does not have to have control over you, baby, because your flesh will do nothing for you but commingle with Satan and his desires and bring you down, down, down. You have the authority. Do not let that happen. God bless you.